Okay, last night I was visited by Jesus Christ, like the Jesus Christ.
Sarah.
And he told me how he was really bummed by all these
people who use my name for intolerance and oppression.
And I was like, wow. And then he said, I want you
to spread my message to the people.
And I was like, me? No one's gonna listen to me. And he was like, yeah, that's the test.
Even if they think you're kidding, they'll hear it. And they'll make their own choice.
And I was like, you know, maybe there are other ways to go about it that might kind of make more sense. We could get a couple legal paths and we could just kind of riff, sit around the kitchen table. Let's work on this. And he was just staring at me like,
I'm Jesus fucking Christ.
And then I figured he'd leave, but he stayed, and we ended up watching like a whole NCIS marathon. It is a drama, but there's a lot of like witty banter and silly moments, and it's a fun show.
Hey, we just got back from the crime scene. It looks like the XY coordinates that we read off the Skylab couldn't possibly match up with the striations that we found on the other rocket fodder. We also found some lipstick on the doorknob. It doesn't match the petty officer, but it's pretty clear the staff sergeant has some idea.
And you know what is crazy is now that I know Jesus more, he is such a dinozo. So anyway, I'm sitting there and I get a little heavy and I'm like, Jesus, when does life begin?
At 40. What?
And he was like,
but fertilized eggs aren't people. People are people.
And I was like, thank you.
But people who believe fertilized eggs are people too. You have to love them. You're not better than them.
And I was like, you're right. Thanks, Jesus. Anyway, did you know that it wasn't until the 1950s when one nation under God was added to the Pledge of Allegiance and in God we trust was put on our money and in our courtrooms? It's a move in direct contradiction to the fathers of our country who insisted on separation of church and state. Using religion to dictate legislation is un-American, but it's happening. In many states, new laws have already been implemented that are making access to safe abortions less and less possible. Say a woman finds out that she's pregnant. If she chooses to have an abortion, she must first find a clinic that, with all these new laws and bills, are dwindling fast. Like in Texas, if Governor Rick Perry gets his way, it will go from having 42 women's health clinics to 5. Do you know how big Texas is? It's like the size of 27 New Hampshires. That's one woman's health clinic every 5.5 New Hampshires. A woman should not have to pack a lunch to get health care. And then, before she can get the procedure, she must now be subjected to a violating vaginal probe and forced to look at the ultrasound of the fetus. Only then can she continue with the procedure. Fun fact, scientists have known for over a decade that sperm cells have a sense of smell. That means that sperm is alive. And you know what that means? That means we've got to legislate that shit. We've got to protect the babies. We need a simple policy like, say, if you think you're gonna masturbate into a gym sock or jerk off into the shower drain, you would then visit your doctor. He would take a long needle-shaped camera, basically like a long pointy GoPro, and that would go up, up, up your penis shaft and then down, down, down into the testicles. We need you to be awake during this procedure because we want you to see all the millions and millions and millions of babies that live inside your balls. And you would not believe the amount of men that don't feel like masturbating after that. It is truly inspiring. So if you want to know how to get involved, click ladypartsjustice.com right here and sign up for all the updates on what's going down. And you can join me, Jesus, and other patriotic Americans in this fall's V to Shining V. It's a nationwide festival heading to every single state capital in America. I'll be going to Concord, New Hampshire.
How's this feel?
Oh, that's my spot.
I know where your spot is. That's a good little Jewish girl.
If you're selfish and you're thoughtless and you're broken and you're heartless, you're probably not a diva, you're a cunt.